Hi guys, welcome back to my video. So in this one, this is going to be a continuation of my book haul series. Anytime I get some books, I will show you guys and then I'll add them to my TBR shelf. I already said in the last video that I do have a second shelf that needs to be put into my room so that I can go ahead and fill it up, and it's pretty much full. So I'm going to need a fourth shelf. We'll get into that in a whole different other video. But my package from Book Outlet, I had to think about it for a second. I was about to say thrift books, but my package from Book Outlet came. For whatever reason, I thought I ordered 5 books. I ordered 7, and then I wanted to get 4 more, but they were already sold out. Whenever they do that like books for $5.99 sale, I didn't realize like how serious people were behind their book buying situation and how much of a steal it is to get a book for $6. So these are the books that I got. 2 of these I have already read. I just really wanted physical copies. So here's my little stack of books right here. We're gonna go ahead and go through them. I'll start with the 2 that I have already read and then go from there. So the first one is, it's actually 3 short stories in a collection of 1 book, and it's by Ali Hazelwood. She was one of the first authors that I got into when I started reading again. I was exclusively only listening to audiobooks through the Libby app and Audible, and then in the Kindle app you can have some books read to you, but the voice is very like monotone and not as great. But those were the first couple of apps that I was using to listen to some books, and this was the first book or collection of short stories that I read, and I thought they were hilarious, and I was so upset that I never had like the physical copy of the book. So I finally got it. I don't know why I thought they would each come in like their own little, like, you know, like the little novellas, like the really thin books. I thought that's what this was gonna be, but it's okay. I love that it is like one big book. But Ali Hazelwood is one of my favorite authors. She's an author for me, and I'll probably make a video about that as well, so you guys know like what I'm into as far as reading goes, because I am not a thriller, horror, crime, suspense kind of girly at all. Okay. But yes, this is Under One Roof, Stuck With You, and Below Zero, and I still remember these stories like when I first read them. So I'm super excited to have a physical copy of this book, and that's going to go on the shelf as soon as possible. The next one that I have that I already read, and I read this one, did I read this one this year or last year? I cannot remember. Hold on, let's stand by real quick. Let's see, when did I read this book? Okay, I read this book at the end of 2024, and I'm kind of mad at myself for not getting into it more. Like I've said before, all of Reese's book club picks, they do something to me, okay? Like I now understand why the books are in her book club picks, because just looking at the cover of this, I was like, I don't know if I'd be into that. We'll see. But the book I'm talking about, I'm sorry it took me so long to put it up, but it's Did You Hear About Kitty Carr? And these kind of stories just, I don't know, they just do something to me. Anytime it is about Black women or biracial women or women who get passed for white, it just, I don't know, you guys, it really does hurt my heart. But Taylor Jenkins Reid blurbed this book, and she's an auto-buy author for me as well. But I now need to figure out what else Crystal Smith Paul has in her arsenal, because this was heart gripping, and I think I read this in 2 days. And the only reason why I had to stop was because I have I have 2 full-time jobs, so, and then I do this on the side. But this book right here did so much to me. So if you guys don't know what it's about, basically the woman on the cover, she changes her name to Kitty Carr, and she passes as a white woman, and she goes through life being Kitty Carr until she meets this white man that she marries. She has a baby for him. Actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna do all that, because I know I'm gonna give away some spoilers. I probably shouldn't even say that much. Read this book if you have not read this book. Pick it up. It is phenomenal. Okay, that's all I'm gonna give you guys. It is phenomenal. Let me get to the rest of these books so this video isn't like extremely long. The next book, kind of in a similar house as Did You Hear About Kitty Carr, but this one is by, oh, I do not want to butcher her name, but she is the author of The Yellow Wife, and this book is also in Reese's book club pick, but it's The House of Eve. I have not read this book, but I cannot wait to get into it. I feel like this would be the perfect time to kind of like get into these kinds of stories. I get into more of these kinds of stories, but I do try to interweave these in between like more lighthearted reads, so that way I'm not just like emotionally distressed after reading these kinds of books. But this is another Black author, and there are rave reviews about The Yellow Wife, so that's gonna be the next pickup if this one's any good, which I know it will be. It's a New York Times bestseller, which I feel like most books are, but gotta support, okay? Love the women of color, and they're phenomenal reads. The next book is also by a author of color. It's called A Love Like the Sun, and I only heard about this book, I want to say I heard about it at the middle of last year. Shaughnessy, who is also a booktuber, was raving about this book, so I was like, add it to cart. Okay, normally I don't care for like covers with people on them. I mean, the last two books they had people on them, it's totally fine because it's not like they're showing their face or like, you know, full frontal whatever. But I'm like, this kind of cover doesn't call to me for whatever reason. But she said it was amazing. And then Emily Henry also blurbed this book, and she's also another autobi author for me. So I was like, well, if she blurbed it, why not? And then Carly Fortune did as well. Let's see, Jessica Joyce, Charlene Obu. I don't want to butcher her name, but she's the author of On Rotation, and then Christina Forrest. So I was like, she's got this many blurbs by some well-known people, so let me give this a try. So yeah, A Love Like the Sun. That's going to be the next book. The next book is a continuation of a series that I started, or actually I haven't started. I will be starting it soon. I think I'm going to start it next month because I already have a lot of books on the TBR, and then I have some books on some audiobooks that I'm also in the middle of. So this is the second book in the what is it called, like the Never After series? Yeah, the Never After series. So I already have Hooked. That one is right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but Hooked is right here. Then it's this book, and I want to say Wretched is next. But yeah, this is supposed to be dark retellings of like famous, well-known Disney movies. Hooked is a retelling from Captain Hook, James's point of view, and then Scarred is a Lion King retelling, obviously from Scar's point of view. So we shall see, because I love a good villain origin story. And there's a lot of books in this series, and I know she's still going, and she released Hex, which is a Little Mermaid retelling from Ursula's point of view. So we shall see how good these books end up being. I cannot wait to see how these turn out, because I do love, like I said, love me a good villain origin story. The next book is actually the first book in a series, but I already read the second book, and I did not realize there was a book before it, but it's called Mr. Fixer-Upper by Lucy Score. Lucy Score, I have not read one book that I have not liked by her yet. And I read the Christmas Fix by her, and I absolutely love the female main character in that book. She was sassy, fiery. That's definitely going to be a reread for Christmas. That book was phenomenal, and I listened to the audiobook as well as read the book. But then there was mentions of the female main character's brother and how he had his own story, and I was like, why didn't I know that before I picked this book up? But I was just in a Christmas mood when I found that book. So I'm gonna read the first book in this series, even though I've already read the second one. I don't think you have to read them in order necessarily. They are, I think, interconnected standalones. A lot of Lucy Score's books are. Like, she has so many series, and this is part of the Welcome Home series. But like I said, it's not like you miss a whole lot if you read the Christmas Fix first and then this one. But I was so intrigued by that story that I had to pick this book up. So this one will be going in, and this one looks like a good spring read, so we'll be looking to pick that one up either March or April. And then the next one, oh, there's a sticker on here. I don't like that. I'll figure out how to take this off. But this is another Lucy Score book, and this is a continuation of a series that I cannot wait to finish. I already have the second book in rotation. That's actually in my February TBR, so we'll be getting read this month. And then I just went ahead and picked up the third book. This is the Blast from the Past. Like I said, I read the first book, The Dead Guy Next Door, and then the second book, A Corpse in the Closet. The Corpse in the Closet is on my February TBR. So this one is the next book, and I wanted to pick it up because the first book was actually pretty funny. The male main character, the love interest, I didn't care for him at all, to be honest. He was actually kind of annoying and a little bit self-absorbed, in my opinion. But the female main character was phenomenal, and the rest of the story was great. So I was like, let me just, whenever I remember, I will just keep picking up the rest of the series, because I want to say it's about how many books? There's like 5 books maybe in this series, but yeah, this one's the next one, and I can't wait to see like what's going on. I know it's still revolving around Nick and Riley, which is great because I love Riley as a character. So yeah, that was it. That is my book outlet haul, and I'm so excited. I may, we shall see when I get paid, if I can spring it, pick up some additional books, maybe see if those 4 books that I wanted came back into stock. But I am one, losing my mind because it is expensive to be a book girly, okay? And then 2, I absolutely love this hobby. I really wish I would have stuck with reading when I was, you know, in elementary, middle school, high school, but life just kind of got crazy because if you guys didn't know, I was a teen mom. My daughter, she's still here, she's still with me, we're still rocking, but she's got a lot going on. She's a teenager in high school right now, so a lot of my efforts and energy and money are tied into her and everything she's got going on right now. But needless to say, I do love being a bookish girly, and my wallet does not. So I'm hoping that everything with my channel kind of takes off and you guys really enjoy the videos enough to subscribe, comment, just interact with the video in any shape, form, or fashion. And I'm loving seeing all the other booktubers of color just coming together as a community, because this has been like one of the best things I could have done with my channel, taking it in this direction. But I'll catch you guys in the next video.